Welcome to a 1v1 Whoa, I forgot what the map is called, actually. What is this map called again? It's brand new this patch, Bystraya Voda. This will actually be the first time I've ever done a cast on this map, and since it's a star-crossed cast tradition, we will take a look at the tactical map. The tactical map of this map is interesting. It's kind of reminiscent of Point de Hawk from COH1, and it's also reminiscent of Lier-Neu. If you take a look at the victory point layout, it's just like Lier-Neu, which is a 2v2 map, one in the south, two split kind of equidistant in the north, rather than split in half right up the middle. And it's a rotated square, 45 diamond square, whatever you want to call it. Shape for this map, and the bases are in the corners, which is always a fun layout for a map. The default camera angle. And yeah, the main interesting thing about this map that sort of differentiates it from other maps is the single fuel point. There's only one fuel point on this map, way here down in the south. Gonna make it kind of a lower fuel map, more of an infantry-based map. So, kind of an interesting design decision. Since strategic points still give you fuel, it's not too big of a deal, I think, if you're not able to hold on to that fuel point, and it is equidistant for both bases. Seems like a pretty balanced layout. I haven't seen enough games on it yet. I don't know enough about it yet at the competitive level to know exactly what I think about that. Seems like a pretty radical map design decision. But with it in auto-match rotation, I'm very curious to see what the community thinks of it as it gets played over the coming weeks. New map this patch, made by Kvezar. It's really beautiful, by the way. Really, really beautiful. And I'm thinking about adding it to one of my tournaments, if not Starcross Kings, then possibly the next Starcross Cup. Depending on what the community thinks of the map. As the meta kind of evolves over the course of this patch. The patch hasn't been out quite long enough. Not enough games played on this map to really say for sure what I think about it yet. So, my initial impressions of it, though, are quite positive. I really like it. I like the ebb and flow. I like the general layout. Lots of cutoff opportunities. You can already see this cutoff has not been secured. It's not connected to any of the territory here in the south. And there are cutoff opportunities for the south fuel at various locations. One cutoff right here, one cutoff here, cutoff there, and cutoff there. So,
we have taken it.
It looks promising. The munitions placement, we do have two munitions points on this map. One here in the north, you can cut it off by taking control of this central road. And this munitions point here in the center can also be cut off by taking control of either of these strategic points surrounding it. So
Now you can use Molotovs to burn those bastards.
I'd say that's enough discussion of the map. Commander has gone with Jaeger Infantry Doctrine, and LewtedHose has not chosen a commander yet. Advanced Warfare, Armored Assault, and Guard Motor Coordination all at his disposal. And the Oster player has fielded two Grenadier squads, Mortar, and the freshly buffed Sniper. He's already been forced off the field one time, but thanks to the health buff, not even really quite close to letting that Sniper get killed. Has got 8 kills on that Sniper already. Meanwhile, LewtedHose has gone with a 4 conscript opening. And he's trying to utilize this bunker to give himself an advantage against those Grenadiers, but apparently this bunker gives like no protection at all, because those Grenadiers are winning that engagement easily. Some bunker. It's just a collection of logs. Piled on some more logs.
We have an isolated sector.
Combat Engineers moving into close range on that mortar, doing really nice damage to it, actually. They're going to clear that. Late retreat. Sniper walking straight into those Combat Engineers. I'm not sure who's monitoring his Sniper there. There he goes. Starts firing at the Combat Engineers. Mortar does get decrewed.
Well done, comrades. The point is ours.
Although those Combat Engineers just got wiped attempting to recover that mortar.
Standing by.
Looks like the mortar's going to get away, though. Sniper misses a critical shot. So although he lost Combat Engineer squad, he has gained a mortar, and that was probably a worthwhile trade, although he probably could have executed this engagement, stolen the mortar, and not had to lose anything if he had screened that Sniper away with his conscripts first, and then crewed the mortar either with his conscripts or Combat Engineers. Meanwhile, here in the north, Grenadiers are engaging some conscripts, and it looks like they're going to be forced to retreat, just from sheer numbers. Conscripts taking control of various territories here in the north. And the Oster has been pushed pretty much completely off the map. His decision to go sniper is definitely bleeding his opponent, and he secured one early squad wipe. But the loss of his own mortar is quite expensive, and since he's now teching up and purchasing a mortar, or not a bunker, here in the base, he is pretty low on manpower right now. Since there's so much snow and ice on this map, this conscript can just glide on home. Look at him doing that conscript slide. That looks so silly. Barely gets away. Doesn't have a whole lot of health remaining, but he does escape from that squad of grenadiers shooting at him on the retreat. Meanwhile, a couple defenses being thrown up here in the north. Conscripts trying to defend against grenadiers that might advance into the area, but since he's operating on only 3 squads right now, looks like all of the Oster's attention is being devoted to the south, where he has managed to secure this fuel point for now.
Engineers have secured the sector. Taking fire! We are bleeding, comrade!
Mortar, stolen Oster mortar in the back is probably going to do a lot of damage to that. That was a nice opening hit. Brought both squads to like half health, but a full squad of conscripts does get lost to focus fire right there. Meanwhile, combat engineers firing at a sniper in open ground. Although they're not really moving to react to this, they're just simply going to retreat on sight. Probably a good choice since that sniper could have kited them all day long. But it is rather dangerous to have that sniper operating completely unsupported down there in the south. Kind of gambling a little bit on the fact that his opponent has not gone tier 1 for a counter sniper or M3. Lots of freely and early available counters for snipers to the Soviets. So leaving a sniper completely unsupported in the south like that, really dangerous. Throwing a fuel cache up seems like a weird time to throw up a fuel cache when you're struggling for manpower as it is. Only 3 squads of grenadiers and a sniper on the field, and you've lost your mortar. That's not really the time to be building a fuel cache. You need to get some more infantry out on the field so that you have some forces with which to compete with your opponent a little bit better.
It's done.
You need something built? Yes, comrade.
They're not in war for being reinforced here in the base. Pio's moving up to take control of the strategic point here. Conscripts available to counter. There's a little yellow cover down here. You can hide in these shrubs to give you a bit of an advantage in this engagement, I think. Some more shrubs right there as well. Either way, moves up into the capture circle to halt capture. And Molotov will get dodged, but conscripts will win against Pios, even at close range. Grenadiers winning this engagement since they have green cover. Conscripts falling dangerously low. Molotov's getting tossed. He needs to dodge that. No, he shouldn't have retreated though. He won that engagement until he retreated. Fortunately, his opponent also retreated.
Enemy squad has us sighted.
Conscripts moving up with combat engineer support to take control of some various territory down here. Ooh, red cover. Oh, got caught in red cover planting a mine. Got vaporized instantly. Conscripts in red cover are outnumbered. They're not going to win this engagement. Need to retreat immediately. Support is not on its way. It's a combat engineer squad planting a mine down there. Heavy damage on those conscripts. Pretty late retreat. Unnecessarily so. Unnecessary manpower bleed right there. But he continues to hold the entire north with 1 conscript squad basically unopposed. And he's taking a ton of manpower bleed because the Oster is focusing solely on the south. I don't know what that combat engineer squad is doing. Okay, I know what they were doing. They finished this mine and automatically pathed toward the incomplete mine to build it. And he was not monitoring the engagement, and you're dumb. Come on, Commander. Aw, looted hose. Where's your self-esteem? What kind of a comeback is that? I know, lol. Whoa. Whoa. Now the gloves have come off. Ouch. It's just mean. Where's the sportsmanship? Grenadiers taking control of Oh, geez. Munitions right there. They're going to retreat away from mortar fire. It doesn't want to lose the full squad. This squad similarly falling very low. Molotov gets tossed. Will prompt a retreat. Mortar fire also doing heavy damage. Full retreat. Just from a 3-man low health conscript squad. Just from indirect fire and mortars. Those mortar explosions are very blue. It's like blue powder inside of those mortar shells for some reason.
I think I have snow in my pants.
Conscripts have been freshly reinforced, make their way back to the front line, going to take control of this munitions point right here. The south is largely undefended right now. We're going to see some mild harassment here for the north, and both sides have bled so much manpower that neither of them has produced any units beyond their starting infantry squads, except for LewtedHose, who has secured enough of an advantage to get a field gun out. Commander, on the other hand, spending all of his manpower on tech and reinforcements, and a tier 3 structure. So he will be able to get a Panzer IV out in the next several minutes, and he's chosen Jaeger infantry as his commander, so no call-in tanks for him, but he will have access to G43s and super close air support. We've seen Jaeger infantry used effectively by Red Wings in the past. See if commander can get similar benefit out of it.
Combat engineers are standing by.
Contact! We are bleeding, comrade!
Conscripts in yellow cover range, kind of falling behind these grenadiers because the grenadiers are double vet at that distance. Conscripts not performing that well. Close the distance to throw the Molotov, does not get dodged, but also no crits. Not yet anyway. There they go. 2 crits right there. That squad will be forced to retreat.
Waiting orders!
Honestly, they probably didn't even have to retreat. They could, if they had just dodged, just repositioned, they would have won that engagement so easily. Double vet grenadiers moving up to finish the job, however. Meanwhile, we've got 2 squads making their way towards the south to take control of some territory. Conscripts grabbing the VP. Combat engineer is going to get the strategic point. Rifle grenade against a full health squad in green cover that's spread out like that is generally not a good investment. You may not get any kills, just bring the squad down to a little above half health, which, if you're already behind for manpower, is a pointless munitions expenditure. Sniper at range is going to start popping away at those conscripts. This sniper is probably the only unit he's produced that has been manpower efficient this game. Up to 18 kills now. Grenadiers charging into close range will force those conscripts to finally retreat. Here in the south, more mines going down. Conscripts will continue to harass the territory, but he really needs to prioritize this fuel point. He's let his opponent... There's 1 fuel point on this whole map, and he's basically letting his opponent have it. It's completely undefended down here.
Your predecessor died a hero!
Really no reason to just leave a completely undefended lone fuel point completely unharassed for the whole game. Half track with 1 grenadier inside, 2 grenadiers, makes its way down here to the south for counter harassment. There are some mines on the field. That one he should have canceled a million years ago. Flamethrower squad will retreat away from the engagement. These squads, man, this is so popular this patch. People, maybe it's because of Star-Crossed Kings. People are seeing Ohms and Pop use it. Maybe it's always been this way, I guess, to be fair. But just the half track surrounded by supporting infantry to reinforce. It's manpower expensive, but it just works so well for map control. Especially when he's invested 400 in caches, spent 300 whatever, 360 on this sniper. When you're behind on manpower like that, it just seems like the half-track is the way to go to turn engagements back in your favor and start securing a manpower lead as long as you can dodge Molotovs, though. You can't keep standing and fire like that. Look at that squad get evaporated by that. He needs to dodge better. So there is deep snow on this map, although it's in a slightly less important location along this fence. Kind of his own fault for standing in that deep snow like that. High explosive barrage going off on this clump. Oh, that looked like it was going to be huge. A little off target. I thought that was going to be devastating. Only one model lost though, and they're vet 3, so they're pretty strong. Sniper moving up to clear out the field gun. That's probably going to get cleared by the sniper plus supporting grenadiers, although he doesn't need to be charging into close range like that. There he goes, finally, fires. Exposes himself to some conscripts and retreats, and pre-patch, that was a dead sniper. Just that one volley of conscript fire, and that was a dead sniper. I really like that sniper buff. It gives him just a little bit more wriggle room. Because I don't think the sniper deserves to die just from one volley of small arms fire. That's really not enough time to react.
Marked and targeted. Our superiors have given us 120mm mortars. Guard rifle infantry squads can now be called to fight for the motherland.
Mine will get swept up down here. Nice use of the minesweeper there in the south. Clustering all of these mines really close to each other and not defending your own mines is a dangerous thing to do. Here's a mine right here with the flag half, or not the flag half track. Sonderkraftfahrzeug, as Hemi Polizeifonk likes to say. Oh no, I think it's going to get destroyed by conscripts moving up. Nice play by those conscripts. Finish off half-track there with small arms fire. Mine gets detonated in the south because the minesweeper was tied up trying to make repairs. It doesn't actually sweep up any of these mines down here. 2 mines. He even swept that mine and he still hit it. 3 grenadiers died on it. Sniper moving up to engage conscripts over here, and the Oster is not really doing too well in engagements. Half-track went down to a mine plus small arms fire. Grenadiers getting bled so hard by mines there in the south, and now 2 T-34-85s are on the field. No late game tanks available for the Oster. I don't know what he's going to do against this. Panzer IV is in production, but he's not made a single anti-tank gun because of his manpower bleed, and this is probably going to seal it. He could just drive these straight into the base and probably be done with the game. Sniper will retreat immediately upon being exposed to those T-34s. A main gun hit will kill him immediately. There he goes. Panzer IV on the field, not going to stand a chance against those T-34s. What is he doing? Wow, he just drove straight into that. Just asking for it. That bunker's probably going to get destroyed here if a stray shot connects with it. With both T-34s having damaged engines, they can't really chase that Panzer IV down though. It's gotta try and go hide somewhere not in the base. Conscript's moving to make a cutoff maneuver here. Will fail because of that fuel cache. Needs to get that cleaned up. And then he can cut off all resources there in the south. Meanwhile, all victory points in the north are under his control, but he needs to get victory point pressure going here in the south by sending one of these wounded squads to get some territory down there under his control. Really no excuse for leaving this in your enemy's hands all game long, completely undefended. Although he will easily be able to take the game with his tanks. He could definitely tighten up his infantry play, definitely tighten up his map control to absolutely 100% seal the game. Because if his opponent, for example, had chosen a Tiger commander and just gone straight from tier 2 into Tiger, he would have one right now. He wouldn't be driving around a dead Panzer IV, and that Tiger would have no problem cleaning up 2 damaged engine T-34s, and then the game would completely swing around back in the Oster player's favor. So it's very important to really seal the deal against your opponent and not just rely on him making a flawed build decision. Apparently, that AT grenade did not kill this Panzer IV. I think it has a destroyed engine and a destroyed main gun now. Molotov to force the retreat there. T-34s in the base are gonna wrap up pretty much everything over here. I'm pretty sure this game is over, so I can just probably fast forward to the rest of it.
Guard right. The sector is at risk.
Second Panzer IV, no. Stug is in production in the Tier 3 structure. It's also important when base rushing to focus on tech structures, dangerous tech structures, over everything else. The HQ, there's not actually much of a reason to destroy the HQ. As Oster anyway, unless, because it doesn't really do anything. You can still use doctrinal abilities, unlike in COH1. And it also gives them access to the Pio Call, and they can actually produce their only headquarters-produced unit more efficiently without a headquarters. So the only reason to destroy a headquarters is to go for the annihilation victory. Which it looks like he's going to successfully do here. But you should take out the tech structures before the headquarters, because they're the only benefit of destroying the headquarters is that it gives you the annihilation victory. Unless you're against Oberkommando West. Against Oberkommando West, it shuts down their ability to make King Tiger Volksgrenadiers. All their tier 0 units. But against Oster, not really. So that's the game. Good game, well played. I like the map. My initial impressions of it are good. But I'd like, of course, to see more games at higher competitive levels on it. Good game. Allies win.